How we doing, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Getting Jiggly With It. I'm Will, and today we're opening up Marvel Zombies, the big box. So of course, in a previous, I did unbox Marvel Zombies Heroes Resistance, which is the little brother retail edition. Still no word if there's going to be a big box retail edition. I think there is, but what that is and how that's going to come out, don't know yet. You can get this one, of course, online. Two reasons why I've got that out. One, of course, is we are going to be doing that as a giveaway for Extra Life charities in the near future. So if you want to have a chance of winning that painted copy, and I'll, of course, be showing the painted minis, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That way you know when you do the announcement, and you'll know how you can enter to win that copy. The second reason is, as I mentioned, I'm going to be showing you guys the painted minis, or at least some comparison to the minis that come in, of course, this box from the Kickstarter, right? Now this is just the core box. We did do the 2-wave shipping. We will have all the rest of the stuff coming in. I will be unboxing all of that as well. Most likely these will, well, not most likely, these will be painted because I do have plans to play this on the channel. And then I'll show you the paint job that we do on these as well. Again, we like showing the paint jobs. Why? Because that is one of our incentives for Extra Life charities, where we will paint your minis in your core boxes. If you want to have us paint an all-in, like a good donator, a good an individual who made a large donation last year. They had us paint their all-in Cthulhu Death May Die Season 1 and Season 2. We'll do that as well. Just keep pledging until you get to the number of minis that you want us to paint. With that said, let's go ahead and flip over the camera. We're going to get into this box and see, well, how good it is. All right, here we go. We are looking at Marvel Zombies, a Zombicide game. Marvel, Spin Master, Guillotine, and Simon. All the wonderful names down here. I would read them, but I'd probably butcher half of them, so you could read them yourself. And then we flip it over here, and we can see on the back, there is no world of Marvel heroes. This is a world of Marvel Zombies. This is the game mode that I'm most excited for, is being able to play as the zombies, because that matches the comics, right? And so that means this is going to be, more exciting for me. We did do a brief little open up the box during our big unboxing, but of course I wanted to show you guys in more detail all the minis as we normally do. All right, so we go. Marvel Zombies rulebook. This is kind of a thick rulebook. It is flimsy, but it is not as big as the box. So good job, Simon. That is one of my pet peeves. And again, I've said this before, I don't know if it's a pet peeve because it's my pet peeve, or I'm just joining the king of average in his pet peeve. Table of contents here, index, summary, round, all that stuff. Game pieces, all the wonderful minis we're going to look at. Game components, introduction, so nice little flavor text there. Zombie mode, hero mode, this is just saying that if you get the X-Men, you'll be able to play in hero mode. Some of the items that are in the boxes that we have here can be used from the Heroes Resistance in this and vice versa. I don't know how well they work. I do know people on BGG talk about trying to play them that way. So we go. We got rules examples, overview, how the basics of zones, line of sight. So normal stuff. I do know there's some variation in how this plays compared to other Marvel Zombies games, or not Marvel Zombies, Zombicide games, but it does play different than how Heroes Resistance plays as well in some of the mechanics. So that's something to be aware of. If you know how to play one, you may not necessarily know how to play the other. Enemies that you go against, which of course will be the heroes and the shield agents in this copy. There are some additional ones that were stretch goals. Rules. Movement, actions, spawning your heroes, not spawning your zombies. Rules for the zombies themselves, combat, hunger. That's one of the main things. Instead of gaining power like you did in the Heroes Resistance, in this you're going to actually gain hunger. And the more hungry you are, the less likely you are to be able to do something. You go into this ravenous effect instead. Bystanders. Because you want to eat the bystanders because they give you powers. And then you got your missions. So you got mission 0, 1, 2. How many missions we got? 3, 4, 5. Oh, these maps are getting bigger. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was it. So 10 regular missions. And then here you have missions hero mode, which of course we can't play these because we don't have the cards for heroes. However, again, you could play this hero mode if you have the heroes from Heroes Resistance and could actually get to playing these a little bit sooner. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hero mode missions in this book, and then a nice little summary on the back. All right, so this we know is the minis. So see the bottom of the box for content guide. I don't know why they did that. They could have printed on the inside of the box or even had a piece of paper. Flipping the box over when you're trying to load the box back up is not helpful. I guess they're kind of saying, you know, take the trays out, look at the bottom, but yeah. But this is all of our minis. We'll look at that in a minute. We'll go through the uninteresting stuff that's down here in the bottom. All right, so we do have our tiles here. There we go. So I have not punched this out. Normally I've been trying to get all this stuff punched out and to make sure I have everything before I do the unboxing. This one is one that I have not touched since that big unboxing. So most of these are all the same. None of these tiles look different than the Heroes Resistance tiles. I can always double check, but I think they're all the same. These tiles, though, I would like to see if there is a difference. So maybe I need to go back and forth. So I'll grab those tiles next. So we have, what is this? Carnival, little room, something broken over here, some wood. And then this is inside. You got, this is, I guess, the embassy, right? Yeah, because there's the flag. So this is the Wakanda embassy. You got your Black Panther there in the middle. This is your sandwiches. We're going to get us some sandwiches. Daily Bugle. Now these do look the same. So I do remember this. I do remember the Daily Bugle. Oscorp, that's the same. I think I remember this is like a little kitchen. Yeah, the bed that was unmade. Yeah, Heroes for Hire. So I think that was in there. I'm going to almost guarantee like the first sets, like this one I think was in there. I would almost say it's the first 6 are going to be duplicates. So Alias Investigations. I didn't even notice that last time. It's Alias Investigations. Damage Control. And then this one is Pizza with, I don't know what this is. Just some fancy hotel or something. Oh, no. Sanctum Sanctorum. You can see the window there. And then this is Chinatown. Maybe so it's supposed to be like Shang-Chi. Fogwell's Gym. And then, okay, so church. I guess the back part of the church. And then Hell's Kitchen. So this one, I think, those two I think are new. So let's just double check with Heroes Resistance. Get this over there. Get that over there. And there. All right. So in Heroes Resistance, oh, actually, you got a lot less tiles. So in Heroes Resistance, you got 4. So you got the Oscorp tile, which was at the same. Let me double check. I get that Oscorp tile. I think they're different. I think the Oscorp in that one. No, okay, so they're the same. So yeah. So this is the Heroes Resistance. So it's 3V. So it's the same number, 3V. Yeah, same spot, 3V. Okay. So yeah, so they're identical tiles. All right. So, uh-oh. And they're identical tiles, so it doesn't matter, right? There's no, I don't think there's a thickness difference. No, thickness is the same. So yeah, they're the same tile, so it doesn't matter. All right, so yeah, so then you got the Heroes for Hire tile. And you got the, oh yeah, the Carnival tile with the embassy. And then you got the fruits and vegetables and Daily Bugle. I guess I just remember the other tiles from the Kickstarter. So this one, so the Heroes Resistance, you got 4 tiles. And with this one, you get 9, right? Yeah, 8, 9. Yeah, you get 9 tiles with Marvel Zombies, the Kickstarter version. All right, and then here are our hero cards. Well, hero is a strong word, right? So we got Captain America. We got Iron Man, Zombie Iron Man. We got the Wasp, Hulkito, as Oddity calls him. Captain Marvel, Deadpool. And see, this was a weird edition. Like when they showed the box and Deadpool's in it, you knew that it was going to be an X-Men box as well. Like that was a given, because that's a very strange addition to put into this. And then you have the hero cards, because you get the cards to play in hero mode when you buy the hero. So you have Thor, you got Spider-Man, you got Black Panther. So we can compare that to the Black Panther from Heroes Resistance. So there's a slight color difference. This is bluer than this one. Let's see here. So this has got slashing combo. This has hard slash. So it is a different ability. So technically, if you keep both games, you could basically play two different versions of Black Panther. Because yeah, everything's different. So the basic move's different. The second move is different, and the third move is different. Oh no, the third move is the same, kinetic feedback. Looks like the attack is all the same though too. So, all right, so they are bluer, so you definitely can tell the difference. These are more of a gray. Those are more of a blue. Oh, and we did look at Spider-Man. I forgot Spider-Man was in here too. So let's see. So Spider-Man, you're looking at, yeah. So this is different too. So here you have Web Sling, and on this one you have Heroic Rescue. So they do have slightly different abilities as well. Plus, in the Kickstarter, there is another Spider-Man that you'll be able to get too. So, all right, and then you got Miss Marvel here. So Miss Marvel. And then Scarlet Witch, which is a zombie in the Heroes Resistance. And Doctor Strange, which is also a zombie in Heroes Resistance. But, same time, you can technically take these heroes and play them in the Heroes Resistance if you actually have that box. So these go back down here in the bottom. Don't think there's much in these. We'll just kind of skim through these real quick. These are going to be your cards for your spawn deck. Now, one thing I was hoping for, I guess you can house rule it too, is I think it would be cool if you could play the bad guys, so take some of the villains, and take them up against the shield agents. But I was hoping there would be, I mean, they did have the Hydra expansion, but like AIM and all them, it would just be fun to play heroes against them. So there's your regular troopers, Trooper Rush, guards, Guard Rush, specialists, which are basically your runners, superhero, so that's how the superheroes are going to come out. And that's pretty much it. And then down here on the end, then you have specialists, you have airdrops. So it spawns the enemies on an airdrop. So that is all of them. Extra activation and escort bystander, which means it's going to spawn with a bystander. These here are your zombie traits. All right. Yeah, so ambush, so they can they're going to ambush you as part of the there we go, zombie traits, so they can ambush you. And then you have all of your different things. Rotten strength, discard before attacking and increase the hunger. Enemies suffer -1 toughness. Taunts, submit to the hunger, discard your turn, increase hunger by any amount, ignore ravenous. Undead Rage. I wonder if there's a healing in this one. So healing is very rare in Zombicide games. It's really one of the only things I didn't care for. Like I don't want to die. I know dying is a part of the game and it's a lose condition. But I like just having healing, especially in a game where you're only given between 4 and 5 hit points. Opportunist. Decrease your hunger. Gorge, here you go. Yeah, okay, so they do have a heal. It's a gorge. When you gorge, you get to heal one of your wounds. So, all right, those are your traits. They go in here. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do. This one, I won't be able to do much with it until the whole Kickstarter comes in. Sometimes CMON's inserts are very efficient, and there isn't much need to downsize the insert. But sometimes they're not. Sometimes they have a lot of extra room, and therefore you've got extra boxes, right, with each of the expansions. So here are the bystanders, as well as the hero cards. and more bystanders. Okay, because you have to have the bystanders for the hero mode. So are they different on the back? Yeah, okay. All right, so we'll do this. All right, so these are the bystanders. So we got Mary Jane, J.J. Jameson, holy cow, Blind Owl. We got Betty Ross, Agent Coulson, Okaye, Pepper Potts, Bob, Agent of Hydra, Sharon Carter, Aunt May, Wong, Thunderbolt Ross, Rescued. So this one, instead of spawning a bystander, draw a spawn card for this zone. So I guess that's different. Okay, so I guess because you do these randomly, so I guess you could actually put in a shield agent instead, meaning that you got there too late and that person was actually rescued. I don't know. And then secret missions. Oh, so then there's secret mission cards too. Okay, so that is the ones you can eat. So here are the heroes when you're fighting against them. So these are their abilities. So you got Thor, 5 hit points. His attacks do 2. You got Spider-Man, 4 hit points. I'm trying to read across the screen. Spawns in the closest zone to a hero. Black Panther, 4 hit points. Performs a number of actions per activation equal to 1 plus the highest danger level of the zombie heroes, 2 to 5 actions. Miss Marvel can attack zombie heroes from 3 zones away. So she's Mr. Fantastic. I'm thinking it's probably going to be very similar, regardless of line of sight. Wall still blocked, so she can go around corners. Scarlet Witch, is she just as bad? Yep. Zombie heroes in her zone must reroll hits. Yeah, so you have to attack her as range, just like when she's a zombie. Doctor Strange acts as a spawn point during the enemy. Oh, so more zombies come to wherever he is. So that's an extra spawn point. All right, Avengers sign, same. You get to throw it and does things. And then you got everybody as well as a bystander that you can rescue in hero mode. So same thing. You could technically add these. Anyone that's extra, add these into the hero's resistance and play those now. And then you have your zombies when you're playing in the hero mode. Same thing, any new zombie you can then technically put into the hero mode, hero's resistance. So you have Captain America. When within range, one of him gain 1 action when they activate. Can attack from 1 zone away. If the zone is attacked but he is not eliminated, move him 1 zone away. Wasp, target the last target priority when moving up to 2 zones. Oh, Hulk's got 6 and then 2, so you got 2 different hit points. When in zone, you may discard your bystander card. If you do, Hulk reverts to Banner, and his toughness is 2 until the end of your turn. Oh, if you discard your bystander, sacrifice him, and then Hulk is satiated, so he's no longer hungry, he's no longer Hulk. So in the Marvel Zombies comic, that's when Banner turned into the Hulk, was when he was hungry. So that's actually very thematic. All right. Captain Marvel, when she spawns, if there are any bystanders on the board, place her in the closest zone with a bystander. And then Deadpool, you probably can't kill him. When eliminated, lay his game piece on its side for the rest of the game. Superheroes entering his zone must roll 1 die. On 5+, they suffer 1 wound. So he's not dead. He's just laying on the ground, still hurting people. So yeah, so these and those other bystanders you could put into Heroes Resistance. Again, don't know if it's playtest, don't know how well they work, but you can do that. Dice are normal dice, just red and black dice with a bite mark on them. Got your little plastic rings. After opening Scarface 1920, I wish everybody would just go to those rubber rings. Especially if you're a painter, because then you don't have to worry about damaging your paint job. However, I guess if you paint your minis, you're not going to be as likely to lose them. So like we don't even use the rings. And then these are your player cubes for your board. All right, so that is that. That is that. All right, so we will get into the minis now, I guess. There we go. All right, so let's move this here. And then we will get into some minis. All right, so here are the player boards. Nice player boards. Slots for your traits. Casper here for, Casper. This is your bystander that you collect. Like I said, there's your tracks for your hunger and your hit points. And then you got this little slidey thing down here for your experience level. And there are 4 of those. No, 5. No, 6 of those. So there are 6. I know some of the campaigns in Marvel Zombies allows you to use less than 6 players. I know Undead or Alive, I think you have to use 6, and I haven't opened that yet. All right, so the first set of minis here, we've got all of our zombie heroes and characters and regular heroes. So we got the Wasp here. So I can get this to focus right. There we go. I do like, and again, I doubt CMON's going to do this in every campaign. I think this is a Spin Master Marvel requirement to have the bases, and I'm so glad they do. I love the bases on the Marvel United minis, and these bases are just as good. Plain bases are fine, but this little bit of extra does a lot for the mini. But there is the Wasp. Insane normal CMON quality, lots of detail on them. I heard somebody in another video kind of make a off comment remark that's like, give CMON another year or 2 and they might be able to get up to the quality of Games Workshop. I don't know if they will, just because the material that these are made out of, it is harder to get a lot of detail or a lot of sharp detail. But I'll tell you, these are very nice. Now, I did see a how to paint video on Hulk, and he's painting things red, and blood is red, but Hulk's blood is green, but his muscles are actually red, or not really red, but like a pinkish purple color. So I think I'm going to have a very fun time figuring out how I want to paint Hulk, because there's also no consistent way that they've painted him. But here we go. Deadpool sitting on a stack of money. I don't like the change they did in his sword. In the prototype mini, the Big Child Creative, his sword was coming more like this, like it was more of a holding it in front of him. This one's more stabbing down, and it doesn't make much sense. It would make sense maybe if there was a head on it, and maybe that's what they wanted to do, and Marvel's like, no, you can't put a sword through a head. So they kept the position but removed the head. I don't know. We got Capitan America. The funnest part of Captain America's paint job is always trying to paint his shield. So lots of detail. You got details down in here, his bones. But yeah, his shield's just going to be fun to paint like it always is, trying to get those circles matched up. Right? And then you got Iron Man. So it's Zombie Iron Man. So like this, he's got like the Hulk Buster, and he's got like his helmet's down here on the ground, because of course he's not wearing a helmet. So lots of, like I said, lots of good details on these. And then we have Captain Marvel with a head in her hand, because why not? She's got a scroll head in her hand. Yeah, like this detail in this base, I like that base. Just the little rocks flying up from where she's, like, her power's coming off. Yeah. All right. Then we have the other heroes. So here is Spider-Man. And then I'll do a comparison right after I do this. I wanted to show each one of these by themselves, and then we'll do the little comparison, because some of them are zombie compared to not zombie. But I remember unboxing the Heroes Resistance, and I thought the quality of those minis was pretty much on par. So of course, Spider-Man and Black Panther are two that they did not do zombie versions of. Black Panther, I understand because of, you know, everything. But the Spider-Man one's confusing. Nobody knows why the Spider-Man one. Because in the comics, Spider-Man is like a key deciding factor on the zombies trying to overcome their hunger. Because he actually regrets some of his actions. And he's having a hard time, well, unliving with himself because, you know, he's undead. You know, it kind of loses that. Now in the Marvel Zombies reboot that they did, where the zombies were not created from the alternate dimension, but from a swarm. Is it the hive? The brood, maybe, I think it was. I can't remember. He's one of the last two, like the window down there. He's one of the last survivors that hasn't been infected. So like, okay, well, if you're going off of that, sure, okay, he can't be infected. And it could have been a Sony call. Maybe Sony didn't want him to be a zombie because, you know, they want him to stay heroic for their movies, considering they're no longer making them with Marvel. So don't know. Here we go. Here is Miss Marvel. But again, it just great detail. Like even I can get in there on the face. Yeah, just normal, excellent detail, excellent sculpts that CMON is known for. They were, I think, one of the first companies to really, you know, come out with good sculpts. I mean, their name was Cool Mini or Not. It used to be, they would judge other people's paint jobs and minis and stuff like that. So it kind of makes sense that they want to try to make as good of a mini as they can in this small of a form factor, right? While maintaining detail. So Thor is new. I haven't painted Thor yet. And then we got Scarlet Witch here. So this is the last hero. So they got, you know, it's got her hair, lots of detail in the hair. And then that's kind of neat. Okay, so probably for support overall, yeah, because her legs on it, but like the rock coming up from behind her. Just neat. It's a really neat pose. There we go. All right, so let's do some comparisons. So we have, so here's the Captain America zombie from Heroes Resistance. And then here is the one from, well, the Kickstarter we just got in. So these were done with speed paints, real quick paint job. If you want to see how I painted them, I do have one showing how I painted Hulk. But yeah, so there is your difference. I don't know. The quality, like I said, is about the same. I almost guarantee they're printed at the same time. The bases, the base rings. This base ring is a little thinner than this one. This one's a little bit thicker base ring. So I don't know if the plastic is a little thinner. I really can't tell the difference. So then we got Scarlet Witch here. So the zombie version versus the non-zombie version. So the one on the left, of course, is the original. Height-wise, this is a little taller. But I mean, that kind of is the positioning. I can't say if the proportions are a little bit bigger. I mean, she does, like, her body looks a little bit bigger than her body overall. There we go. Let me see here. Same thing, this base looks a little bit thicker. If you look at the rings. So they are a little bit lesser quality, but still, these were really good minis. I don't know if they held as much detail. I'd have to go back to my unboxing. Next is Doctor Strange. We'll compare those two. So here is Doctor Strange versus Doctor Strange. So you can do a multiverse of madness. It is kind of neat how they did keep some of the elements similar. So like you can see here, you got his window, and then same thing here, you got the window. This one though, you got those tentacles coming up, and then same thing here, you got those tentacles coming up. So it is kind of neat how they kept those very similar. But yeah, so the same thing. These are thicker. These do have a thicker base. So I do say the quality of these minis is a bit better. Now your zombie. Now this is one that a lot of people probably would want to get the Heroes Resistance just for this one reason, and that's because of the different sculpts. So like here you can see you have the two different sculpts of Iron Man. This one with his helmet on for zombie. This one with his helmet off. as a zombie. Yeah, and I can feel, just as I'm doing the twist on the bottom, I can feel the thickness difference. So that is Iron Man. And we have the Hulk. He definitely is bigger. So Zombie Hulk is definitely bigger than the one. This is the Heroes Resistance Hulk. And then this is the Kickstarter Hulk. So a lot bigger, a lot thicker. I can feel the weight difference. My arms are getting tired from having to do this because I can't zoom in on the camera. If I zoom in on the camera, then there's not enough light. And I haven't figured out how to get enough light for you guys to be able to see that. But that's your Hulk and your Hulk. And Vision isn't in here. We didn't get a Vision. Wasp will be a zombie versus non-zombie version. Very similar with the wings, the way they did the wings, with the texture in them. The bases are unique. Like this one's got like little nuts and bolts and things on it. This one's a lot more intricate with the details. So that's one of the things. The bases are more detailed on the Kickstarter version. Again, these are great minis. I mean, I'm not going to say anything, compared to a lot of companies that produce Kickstarter minis, these are still really good minis. And then we don't get a Winter Soldier. We do have a Black Panther. So same thing. Yep, there we go. Yeah, he's a little bit smaller. I mean, I know the pose, he's supposed to be, he's like doing more of a crouch, but there's definitely a size difference in them. So, if these are 32 millimeter, these might be like 30 or maybe 28, 25. I don't know. I don't know miniature sizes. Maybe somebody in the comments will know miniature size, but this is definitely a smaller scale than what came in the Kickstarter. And then last is Spider-Man. Yeah, let's switch it up. Let's put left and right. See if I can feel the weight. So here we go. And again, there is a whole nother Spider-Man sculpt. Since I did the all-in, I'll end up getting the other sculpt as well. It just adds variety, just gives you a different way to play, a different character to play. There we go. It's like, I almost think, oh, should I just keep the Heroes Resistance, having the different sculpts, and especially since the ability, you know what? This one is not going to fit in this box, Will. That is not where he came from. Because of the difference. I mean, the characters do have different skills, so like having two different Black Panthers to play with different skills might be fun. Again, don't know the balance. All right, so now we got some Bystanders. So this is Okoye. So lots of detail, all the wrinkles in the dress. And then same thing, even these have a basic texture base. And that's what I said, like, even if you don't want to do the big 3D bases, a simple texture base like that is more than enough. And I can tell you, like Undead or Alive, something like this, just as a small sand base, let me focus. A small sand base like this on like the Undead or Alive minis would make a huge difference. Like I want it to look like sand. Now I'm going to have to do this. So this is Sharon Carter with her guns. So the gun situation is very confusing with Marvel games. Sometimes they let them have a gun, sometimes they don't. Blind Owl from Deadpool. I think she was his landlord. It's been a while since I've read about her. Like, she popped up and she was like a popular character, but I don't think she's been around in a while in the comics. Unless she popped back up. I'm kind of behind on my comics. Got Bob, Deadpool's amigo. So, of course, if you're playing Deadpool, the first person you got to eat is Bob. I mean, you're holding his head. It would be very unthematic if you didn't eat him. And even here, like, see, it's just a little bit of detail on the base. Just like a grate, like a sewer grate or something. Ross. So that was one we did get in Marvel United, was Red Hulk. But unfortunately, we didn't get Red She-Hulk. And I don't know why. That seems like a huge miss. Not to have Red She-Hulk. And then Coulson, I think, is the last one of the survivors, at least in this level. I think there's a couple in the bottom level. So there is Coulson with a big old plasma rifle. And again, all the creases and folds in his jacket. So these I'm not going to speed paint. I think I'm going to actually paint these ones, which means it'll take us a lot longer. And that's just because I want to paint these. I want to have the details. And with speed paints, you don't always, I mean, you get the details from the recesses. It's a real good, quick way to get your minis painted. Like I said, that's what I'm going to do on Dead or Alive. It's probably how I'm going to do the Lobotomy too, which I just did an unboxing of as well. But it gets them to the table, right? And then you have a male and female version of the specialists, which are your runners. So even these just have just a little bit of texture on the bottom. They sculpted, you know, the dust coming off because they're supposed to be quick. They're supposed to be quick because they've got rocket packs, but they didn't do anything with the rocket packs. So I'm kind of confused by that. Like, I would have expected a little bit of plume of smoke coming out of there. Yeah, left and right. So here's another one of the enforcers without a shield. So he does not have a riot shield, but just for variety. I like that, you know, I like having the variety. Everything's not the same old, where all the minis are the same. This one, there's just a whole bunch of variety. I'm not going to show them all. I'm just going to show two of them, a male and a female. We'll do two different poses. There we go. So these are the regular special, or not specialists, what do they call these ones? Just regular shield agents. And there's the male and the female. So just on these alone, there's 5 different sculpts of these guys alone, just on the top, this top layer. So that's, I mean, that's awesome. Most companies can't do that because they don't have the printing capability that CMON now has, right? I was talking on Discord about that with another game where they don't have a lot of minis in the game compared to like a CMON. It's like, okay, well, you're getting like 33 minis for about the same price of this other one where you get 50, 60 or whatever. And they don't have the, they don't have the trust. They don't have the, I don't know the word I used in the forum, but like, CMON has a manufacturer. They've worked with them for years. That they know they can trust that manufacturer, and the manufacturer knows that they're going to get a lot of business from them. So they probably don't pay that much, or probably get a very good deal on what they do. So here is the next Bystander. I think that's all we got. All the rest of these are duplicates to match what we saw there. So this is just the rest of the Bystanders. So that is Aunt May. Then this would be Mary Jane, right? Yeah, Mary Jane Watson. The same thing, just a simple texture base. It's nothing major, but it's enough. It's enough, right? To not be a smooth base. So Mary Jane Watson. Triple J. J. Jonah Jameson. There's a little bit of texture on the newspaper, it looks like. So that way it looks like it's actually some text. So, again, just a great mini. And a little bit of cracked sidewalk underneath. Oh no, this one it's wood with papers on the ground. Oh, it says Menace. Wow. I didn't realize that. I don't know if I can get this in the camera. I'll try. It says Menace, and it has a spider web. There we go. It says Menace and has a spider web in it. That's awesome. That's very good attention to detail. I think this is Betty. Is this Betty? Was Betty Ross one of them? Because she's holding a folder with radioactive. Yeah, so I think this is Betty Ross. Did we get a red She? I don't think we got a red She-Hulk in this one either. Maybe they're not allowed to make red She-Hulk anymore. Maybe they're just trying to get away from that. Marvel doesn't want it anymore. Pepper Potts with her. The question is this Iron Man's briefcase or is this Rescue's briefcase? You have to decide for yourself. I guess you could paint it either way, depending how you want it. And then just looks okay. So it's like a metal base, like a technological. And then last but not least is Wong. So we got little old Wong doing some karate. No, Mystic Arts. I guess he might know karate too. I don't remember if Wong knows karate. Taekwondo? Kung Fu? Somebody let me know in the comments. What does Wong know besides the Mystic Arts? Oh, and that's cool. Okay, and then his base, of course, has that the symbol for the. I know it's the symbol in the Sanctum Sanctorum. I don't know what the actual symbol means in terms of like the magical powers and stuff. All right, so we're going to put all this back in the box. Maybe if Will remembers to put the lid on this other one. But yeah, you notice this is what I was saying about. I did another unboxing of G.I. Joe Mission Critical, and their minis were so far spaced out, and their box was so much bigger than even a Zombicide box that it's like just such wasted space. CMON does a very good job of conserving space. So it's like if I wanted to downsize the amount of space this takes up with the minis, I mean, it'd be really hard besides just taking them all and throwing them into a tray, right? So we will take our tiles, punch boards, and what else? I think that's it. There, and there. All right, guys, that is Marvel Zombies, the Zombicide game. The core box, of course, we will be getting the rest of the Kickstarter, so make sure you subscribe if you want to watch that unboxing as well. As I also mentioned, we will be giving away that painted copy of Marvel Zombies Heroes Resistance in the near future, so make sure you subscribe. That way you know when we put that video up, and that way you know how to enter. I'm going to let you know it's the same as always. We support Extra Life charities. It's going to be by making donations to Extra Life charities. If you'd like to have your minis painted, also, we do have that as an incentive. Click the link down below. Go out to Extra Life and choose the painting level you would like us to do for you. Until next time, guys. Peace.